Hello, 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 one and all. Happy Monday. It is Monday on October 13th. Super excited to be here with you today. Today, I'm going to be chatting with you about a super exciting conversation. Before I start, today is day 15 of my 100 days of going live. Now, all transparency, I have not been live since I think Thursday of last week, and I intended on going live, but the energy was super wicked in regards to there was a lot of energy, and I was feeling that energy, considering I have been going live every day for the last 13 days. And not only have I been going live, but I've also been doing Zoom events as well, so a lot of energy I've been interacting with. All that being said, I'm here today. It's Monday, Moon Day. If you follow astrology, you understand that term. If you do not follow astrology, hang in there with me. Don't walk away just yet. Let me explain a little bit about what it means by it's Monday, Moon Day. Every day of the week is ruled by a specific planet. Mondays are ruled by the moon, and the moon is about how we express ourselves and what we feel, which is partially one of the reasons why so many people have a challenging time on Mondays to get themselves up and going because of that moon's energy. The moon is currently in Cancer as we speak, where it's actually comfortable because the moon rules Cancer's energy. So you may feel more like being at home today, more like staying in your pajamas. And where I am on the East Coast, it's cloudy, it's damp, it's cold. In fact, my landlord just put the heat on. I woke up to the heat this morning, like, wow. And last night, the weather was quite frigid. So we are definitely mid-October, moving through Libra season, getting ready for our Scorpion season. There's a lot of energy that we're about to play in. Today's title is all about the Grand Air Trine, unexpected opportunities. Now, before I go and talk about that, let me introduce myself for some of you who don't know who I am. I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I am the founder of Holistic Fitness NY. I serve, help, and transform women over 40, helping them to release emotional weight without dieting. Big emphasis on the word without. I also hold space for them so they can gain the confidence and get courageous enough to walk away from their 9-to-5 and step into their soul's work. Now, one of the things I do want to put out there, if in case you're curious or you're looking to walk away from this live because you feel this is not for you, a little basic understanding, some 101 knowledge. Your birth chart isn't about fate. It's your navigation system, leading you to your soul's purpose. So if you are somebody that really has no direction to what your soul's calling is, what your purpose is, what it is you're really supposed to be doing, all of this is literally in your navigation system, and understanding your navigation system can help you get to that place a lot quicker than if you're just winging it. As I often say, you use your navigation, or known as your GPS, in your car to get from one location to the other with ease. Why not use your navigation system that was literally created with you in mind, you and God set, and had a conversation about what you would be doing in this lifetime as your agreements. And the different places, people, and situations are part of those agreements. And we are all energetic beings, and we are all energetically connected to everything, including the cosmos. It's almost similar to if you were sitting to listen to the weather report to know whether or not it's going to rain, if it's going to be hot, if it's going to snow. Same concept. The cosmos energy is your weather report of what's actually going on day to day, especially with the moon's energy, as the moon rotates every 2.5 days. So today the moon is in Cancer, which is all about being at home. It's nurturing. It's wanting to be, maybe your energy of being the mama bear is more enhanced today. Maybe you just want to be cozy up in your bed or on your couch. And this is the day for it, especially, again, if you live on the East Coast where it's really damp and you don't really want to get outside. Now, within less than a day and a half, the moon's going to move, because that's how quickly the moon's energy does move. Very important for us to pay attention to this. And just to give you some insight, the moon will be in Cancer right until Wednesday, the 15th, and then it will transit over. Actually, I should rephrase that. The moon will be in Cancer until about 6:47 a.m. on the 15th, on the 14th, which is tomorrow. Let me get it together, right? So we had the moon in Cancer yesterday, today, which is Monday, and a little bit into Tuesday. So once the moon moves into Leo, the energy is going to feel very different. You may be more inspired to be more creative. You may be more inspired to be more playful. You may be more inspired to tap into what's going to bring you more freedom, what's going to bring you more opportunities. And when we talk about Leo energy, it is this unexpected change of events, which is so perfectly aligned to the energy we are in right now. So now that you know a little bit about the moon's energy, you may want to take a look to see where you have the moon on your chart, what sign is it in, and even what house it's in. Because the sign, the zodiac sign, and the house gives you the theme to all of the planets that's going on around us. So I'm going to try to keep this as simplified as possible so you can follow along and really get the gist of why this is so important and how to benefit from this. So again, if you are following with me here live, please go ahead and share this out. If you're watching this on the replay, put in the comments #replay. Why is this so important for me to share? Why am I so passionate about this information? Is because it is your navigation system. It's not about the woo-woo. It's not a religion. It's a tool that once you really understand it and you implement it into your day-to-day, you literally can move in a more quicker process. It's like a game of chess for that matter. If you know how to play chess, you totally understand what I'm saying. So when we understand how to navigate, we know how to plan things out. There's a certain time to do certain things, and there's a certain time not to do certain things. And a lot of humans, from my experience with working with a lot of you, spend a lot of time in trying to attract things that isn't in alignment with you at this moment of time. So I want to help you save a lot of time. I want to help you navigate to what is actually in alignment with you right now and put a pause on what's not in alignment with you right now. So for example, if you are that person that's trying to make the $1 million or a six-figure income, do you know that on your navigation system, it will let me know whether or not you have the potential to do that. There are certain placements, planets on your chart that gives me insight to whether or not you are here to be that person that brings in a six-figure income. Just to share a little story about me, on my chart, I'm not here to bring in a six-figure income. What I do is based on passion, based on love, based on the joy of the knowledge that I have. So I know for one, I always have money as I need money. Money always comes as I need it. I'm always attracting it so I can receive it. But in regards to, am I destined to bring in a six-figure income? No. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with knowing that money flows easily, frequently, and in large amounts as I need it. And that's fine. So I don't spend my time trying to do something that's not aligned with my chart. So I want you to understand the same thing. So you may be quote-unquote chasing the six-figure income and always hitting a wall and then wondering, well, why is it that it works well for others but not well for you? And that could very well just be that you have different placements on your chart and that your focus needs to be somewhere else. Yes, I have fame, I have success, I have recognition. That I do have. I am definitely seen in my industry as a master. I am definitely seen in my industry as wealthy. I am definitely seen in my industry as knowledgeable. That is without saying. But as for a six-figure, am I here to make a six-figure? Definitely not. And I'm okay with that. So, today's topic is all about the Grand Air Trine. So let me break that down to you to what that actually means. A trine in astrology is when we have 3 zodiac signs or 3 planets that are very close together in a degree and share the same element. So for example, the air trine means that we have 3 planets sitting in air. Now, just an FYI, and make this a really easy quiz for you, we only have 3 zodiac signs per each element. So for example, our fire elements would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Our earth elements would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Our air elements would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I want to say it in the order. And of course our 3 water signs would be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So when we talk about a trine, means there's 3. And currently at this moment of time, energetically and navigationally, we have 3 planets sitting in all 3 air signs. So what does this actually mean when we talk about air signs? Air signs are intellectual. They are conversational. They are visionaries as well. Air signs can go one of 2 ways. Air signs can be all about knowledge and very good at gaining the knowledge, or air signs can be elusive and overthinkers and full of anxiety. So it goes one of 2 ways. So let's get into this so you can better understand. I encourage you to probably listen now and then come back later and take some notes. This way here you can comprehend what it is I'm saying. Now you know your learning skills better than I do, so you may be somebody that works really well by writing notes and then coming back and re-listening, or you may be someone that is better at listening than coming back and writing notes. All depends on you. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the visuals, so I don't have anything that I'm going to show you. So if you are a visual learner, my apologies. But anyway, I'm going to do my best so everyone who has their own different styles of learning can learn something here for today. So when we look, and I do have a visual of your chart. So I'm going to show you my chart. See that big circle right here? And everything inside that circle? Everything on this side of my chart is loaded with planets. And I have very little bit on this side of the chart. Now, if you are looking at your chart and you notice that you don't have any planets in different placements, that's okay. You still have a lot of energy going on in those placements that have nothing there. And I'll get into that later if need be. So anyway, so we talk about the 3 planets that are sitting in air right now and are very close to the sharing the same degree. And what I mean by a degree, meaning anywhere from 1 degree to as high as 29 degrees. Now the critical degrees are between 0 to 5 degrees, which means there's a new beginning taking place. Something new is about to occur. And most of the time when we have a planet that enters a different zodiac sign, it starts at that 0 to 1 degree. It starts in the very early stages. And on your chart, you will actually see a degree to when you were born, where that planet was at that time when you were born. Was it in the early stages, or was it in the middle stages, or was it at the end of the stages? But 0 to 5 degrees is the critical early stages of something new coming through. And when we talk about these 3 planets in the air signs, we are talking about the early degrees of these planets, which means every one of us collectively we'll be experiencing something new coming through. Something critically new coming through. That's why it's called a critical degree. Now, if you're looking at your chart, your personal chart, and you notice that any of these 3 planets that I'm talking about happens to be more like in the middle or the ending of the degrees, such as the 25 to 29 degrees, which is more of the detrimental degrees, which means something's coming to an end, you are still going to feel this air trine. We're all going to feel it. And when I use the word feel may not be the best word to use. What I mean by is that we're all going to experience something happening where if we are aware anyway, aware and awakened, that's really the key of it. If you're still sort of like sleepwalking, you may be missing this air trine that's coming through, and you may find out like weeks down the road that, oh, is that why this happened? So my suggestion to you is for you to wake up. Wake up, become awakened to this idea that there's things going on. And I'd like to introduce you to your Earth school that you're in right now. And this chapter that we're learning about is about the planets and how this grand air trine is helping you to experience unexpected opportunities. Unexpected opportunities. Now, I was chatting with one of my astrology mentors last week, and he and I were talking about how, with the help of the planets, whether you're doing the work or not, these things are going to happen, whether doing the work or not. So if you're sleepwalking through this chapter of your life, and you have a very strong house placement with this energy, there's going to be things that's going to happen. And we use the word unexpected opportunities because you didn't expect it. It's something that just shows up out of the blue. So let me get into it, and then we'll talk more about the unexpected opportunities. So we think about Venus, and we all know Venus is about the planet of love. At least that's what many of you tell me that you think Venus is about. That's a real small portion of what Venus is about. Venus is associated with all of your relationships. Every relationship you have with people, the different places you go to, the relationship you have with your physical body, the relationship you have with money, and the relationship you have with all of your physical material possessions and food. And food. All of that is a part of the relationship that Venus is associated with. Now, Venus, as of today, has moved into Libra. Now, let me see what time that actually takes place and see if it's actually happened yet. Because as I said, when a planet gets ready to transition into the next zodiac sign, it's a time that it happens. So obviously at this point in time, Venus is still sitting in Virgo. Just an FYI. Until 5:19 p.m. Eastern Time, that is when we're going to experience the Venus shift. So 5:19 p.m. Eastern Time is when Venus enters Libra. So right now, Venus is still in its 29th degree. The ending. Something's ending when it comes to Venus and Virgo. Virgo is associated with your routines. It's about your nervous system. It's about your digestive system. It's about your schedule. It's your connection with your physical body as well, because anything with Venus is physical body. It's about your nourishment as well. So for the last 5 weeks when Venus has been sitting in Virgo's energy, that might have been your big focus on how do you nourish your body so your body can digest what you're eating, so your body can benefit from the fuel you're giving it. If your body is not nourished, if your body's not digesting the food you're eating, your body's not getting the nourishment it needs, so you may not have the energy to do the things you're looking to do. The same as goes for if you're eating food that's not nourishing, and you're just eating food, you may not have the energy that you're looking to have to do the things you're looking to do. Those of you who have a very strong Venus-Virgo energy, and those of you who have Sun, Moon, or Ascending in Virgo, this might have been a very intensive time for you because of the digestive system and how you digest not just food, but how you digest information. Also understand that Venus was in a conjunction, meaning playing together with the Virgo South Node energy. And Virgo will still be in the South Node. So this is going to go on until June, I believe it's June 16th of 2026 is when Virgo will move out of the South Node energy. And that's a really important piece. And we may come back to that later. So anyway, as of 5:19 p.m. today, Eastern Time on October 13th, Venus will move into Libra. And Venus will stay in Libra until let me find a date for you. Until November 18th. Until November 18th. Until November 18th. When she will move into Scorpio. So, during this period of time, and it's almost like 5 weeks when we think about it, during this period of time with Venus and Libra. Now, we already know about Venus is all about your physical body. It's about all of your relationships and the relationship with self, which I forgot to mention. This is a big one. It's about how you see yourself. It's about whether or not you see yourself beautiful, whether or not you see yourself healthy, whether or not you see yourself strong, whether or not you see yourself valuable, worthy. Venus is also about all of your self-worth. So it plays a big, big role in reference to how you show up in the world in regards to the work that you do. If you show up as a people pleaser, if you're showing up as someone that devalues yourself, undercharge your services, all of that is that Venus energy. So now, especially with it being in Virgo, that might have been something that was highlighted for you during that season, and perhaps and hopefully you've done some work around that, and perhaps you've increased your rates to match what your value is, and maybe you're still working on that. Maybe you're still not quite aligned with the fact that you do deserve to be paid for what you are worth. And if you've been told as a child, or you witnessed somebody when you were a child working really, really hard and not getting paid for their services, and you carry that energy, this is really your time to break free of that. Because otherwise, if not, you're going to continue to carry this pattern of being undercharged for your service. And that is going to highlight a wound for you. So when we think about Venus moving into Libra, Libra, to start off with, 3 words I want you to think about when you think about Libra. Harmony, balance, grace. Those are the 3 words associated with Libra. Harmony, balance, grace. Libra intentionally brings more harmony into your life. It's about balancing. It's a balancing scale. With Venus being in Libra during this next 5 weeks, you may be more conscious about having more balance into your life and looking at the things in your life that's throwing off balance. So if there's something that you're doing, such as work, let's say you are working and you're working hard for your money, like Donna Summer would sing, and you're finding out that you don't have time for family, you don't have time for play, you don't have time for rest, you're constantly eating on the go, and that's causing you to get unhealthy. This may be something that you might be focusing on for the next 5 weeks to change that, so you can bring more balance into your life. Because the more balance you have in your life, the more harmony you're going to experience, and the more grace you're going to have during this time. And by implementing these changes, this allows you to have what's called a vibe reset. You are literally going to reset your entire calibration during these next 5 weeks to bring more balance into your life. Now, if you follow some of the magazines I write for, such as I wrote an article in Success to Success that came out a few months ago. If you're interested in reading it, let me know and I will send you it. I wrote an article about the 4-hour work week. Yes, the 4-hour work week. Now, in theory, when we talk about bringing more balance and harmony into our lives, and we talk about the concept of resetting our calibration, it's really understanding your values and how many hours a day do you really want to be working. And it doesn't matter if you call your work play like I do. How many hours do you want to be in that? Do you want to spend your 8 hours grinding and hustling? Or do you want to really narrow it down to how many hours a week and a day do you want to be in the work that you do? And whatever your income is that you want to bring in. Now, this is some work I do with my clients, is I help them to evaluate what their dollar point is. Like, what do they want their income to be? And based on that income, being realistic, how many hours a day and how many hours a week do they need to work in order to bring that income in? Now, two things we learn from this is our values. Where are we really charging what we're worth? Or are we undercharging and having to work a lot of hours? Because you can, if you are that person that wants to bring in a 6-figure income, and you can bring in that 6-figure income, and you may have to work a lot of hours to do so if you're undercharging yourself. Whereas if you decided through this last 5 weeks of Venus and Virgo, and now Venus and Libra, you made this conscious decision to break free of old habits and philosophies, you may be on your way of saying that it's time to increase my rates and take your rates up by double or triple. And by doing so, believe it or not, you are going to begin to attract the right clients that's going to value the service you bring to the table. And that what you're also going to do is you're going to create a sort of like a wall for those who don't value you. So why have clients that you're working with that's not willing to actually give you the raise that you deserve? So if you're working with clients that's only willing to really pay you, let's say $15 an hour, and your work is definitely worth $50 an hour, you want to get rid of those $15 hour clients. And you want to attract the $50 hour clients. Understand this. Your $50 clients are not going to hire you when you're charging only $15. And I know that may sound ridiculous, but why wouldn't they? It's inexpensive. Yes, it's inexpensive. Which means they don't believe the work you are serving is valuable enough because it's inexpensive. And I had to get used to this idea of understanding that, wow, is that really a thing? It is. It is a thing. So if you are undercharging, thinking that, you want to attract the right clients, you may be attracting the wrong clients. Take your rates up. So if you are charging $15 for your service, take it up by $10. Charge $25. Do that for 6 weeks and see what happens. First of all, what's going to happen from my own experience is some of your clients are going to continue to stay with you. They're going to pay you that $25 an hour because they know your worth. And in their mind, they're probably like, wow, she finally took her prices up because she's worth it. And some of your clients may decide, $25 is too expensive, so I can't continue. And that's okay. It's too expensive for them because they don't value themselves. Think of it that way. It has absolutely nothing to do with them not valuing you. They just haven't gotten to that point where they value themselves. So this is a learning lesson for you and them. And that's okay. So what you want to definitely do at that point, once you find the clients who fade away because your price went up, you make space for the newer clients that's going to come in. And now you have your new rate, let's say $25 an hour, and you keep that maybe for 6 months. And of course you honor the clients that you brought in with the $25 hour rate for maybe a year or two. And then maybe you increase your rates again. Maybe you take it up another $10, or maybe you take it up another $20. But you get my point now. And the higher you take your rates to match what you want to make as your income, where you can actually then create this 4-hour week, this 4-hour work week, or 4 hours a day, where maybe you're working 20 hours a week and earning your 6-figure income. That's because now you've actually brought your rate up to match what you're worth. And not only is that going to change the relationship you have with your clientele, it's also going to change the relationship you have with other people. Because the more you value you, other things are going to change as well. So that is the vibe reset for Venus in Libra. Now, the other thing you want to pay attention to is where you have Libra on your chart. What house does Libra rule on your chart? So for me, I have Libra in my 4th house, which is all about home. It's all about work. It's all about the connection I have with my physical body. So you do want to know what house Libra sits in, because that's where Venus is going to transit during these 5 weeks. And anything in that house, based on planets, are going to add to this recipe to your story. Now, I myself do have one planet sitting in my Libra 4th house placement. And I'm not going to get into that right now, because that will get a little deeper. If you do have a planet that's sitting in your Libra placement in whatever house it's in, go ahead and put that in the comments, or you can message me that information, and I will send you some insight to what that means for you over the next 5 weeks. So in addition, as we move out of Venus and Libra, and remember that Libra is all about harmony, balance, and grace. Those are the 3 words we want to pay attention to. I'm going to add one more word to that for Libra. Libra is also about your agreements. All the agreements you have with the people, places, and things that you are going to be participating in over the next 5 weeks. Because this house placement is potent because of the Sun being in being in Libra right now. We have the Sun's energy in Libra until October 22nd. And then the Sun's going to move into Scorpio. So during this week, 1 week, and I always say that whenever we have planets in conjunction of each other in a very short period of time, there's going to be, I like to call it, big explosions happening, because it's a short period of time where we get to have this connection with Venus and the Sun, both being in Libra's energy. Now, the other thing I want to throw at you, we also have what's called oppositions going on. An opposition means we have planets, we have planets in opposition of Libra. So the opposition of Libra is Aries. And we do have, currently, we have Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. And the wounded healer in Aries is a big match with Venus, because Venus is about your self-worth. So that opposition in Aries, which is about your I am statement, how do you feel about you when it comes to your relationships of self-worth, self-value, self-respect, being enough. So that Chiron Aries opposition may play a big role over these next 5 weeks, bringing to your attention what you need to heal. Because Chiron is all about your wounded healer, and it's about healing. So lessons may very well show up for you that's going to cause you and force you to have to heal something, assuming you're willing to do the work. We also have Neptune in 29 degrees in Aries, at least for another week, because Neptune will also be moving into Pisces, moving back into Pisces, the same day the Sun moves into Scorpio. So that's a whole different conversation. But for right now, with Neptune in Aries, that's about taking your mask off. That's about being true, being authentic, being transparent of who you truly are. Again, playing a big role in reference to your self-worth, self-value. Are you able and ready to take your mask off and show up as your true self? As opposed to pretending to be something that other people want you to be, as opposed to who you really are. So that's that Venus opposition with Aries. So I want you to understand that, yes, we have a nice conjunction with Libra with the Sun, and then we have an opposition with Libra in Aries. So we want to understand Libra, Aries, Chiron, Libra, Aries, Neptune. So we have that opposition with those two asteroid and planet, helping us to really look at our values. And where is things out of alignment, which creates an imbalance, which creates a lack of harmony, which creates more chaos versus grace. So that's the opposition with Venus in Libra with Aries. Alrighty, we're going to move on. And I know this is a lot of information for you to take in, but it's important information because by understanding all of this is going to help you understand where the unexpected opportunities come in, assuming you are doing your work. And you have to do the work. You have to do your work. You have to wake up. And you have to be awakened and aware to what's going on around you in order to understand how this is all going to play through. So again, Venus and Libra, if you're not really evaluating your self-worth, your values, and you're just giving everything away, or you're working 20 hours, 30 hours, or you're always saying yes, 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 you're draining your own energy and you're causing your own illnesses. Okay, so next one, we have Uranus. Uranus is the planet of disruption. It's the unpredictability. It's the chaos that shows up in your life. And we've all experienced different chaos. You know, things that, we thought it was going to work out this way, but it ended up not. So it's the chaos, something that shows up that changes the times of events. That's Uranus energy. Collectively, we are definitely seeing this energy in the collective, because Uranus is one of those planets that sit further back and really impacts our collective energy. Uranus is about revolutionizing our situations. So big changes come in when Uranus plays a role. Now, for the last 8 years, Uranus has set in Taurus energy, which is all about our relationships. And by the way, Venus rules Taurus energy, in addition to ruling Libra's energy. So we think about when Uranus was in Taurus, how it was corrupting, and corrupting was the word I just heard, corrupting and creating chaos in our different relationships. Whether it was relationships with an intimate relationship, a business relationship, a friendship, the relationship with food. I mean, if you think about it, in the last 8 years, we've become more aware of how what's been in our food and how we really have to pay more attention to the food we are eating and become more aware and knowledgeable to certain ingredients in the food. You know, that's all related to the relationships and the connection of Uranus. So Uranus is going to help us revolutionize everything associated with our relationships in the last 8 years. Now, Uranus happens to be sitting in Gemini and moved into Gemini June or July of 2025 and will make its way back to Taurus again on November 6th or 7th. So let's talk about Uranus being in Gemini. Gemini is all about technology. It's about communication. It's about travel. It's about networking. It's all the things related to AI. And we're seeing a lot of the AI information showing up. And with AI, there's going to be a lot of new jobs that's going to be coming through because, again, with Uranus and Gemini, things are being revolutionized. Things are being reinvented. I mean, I'm sure you're hearing by now that several stores, big corporations, back in 2-3 years ago have closed, literally declared Chapter 11, and now they are being re-revolutionized. So they're making a comeback and maybe doing things a little differently than they did before. That is definitely the connection between Uranus with Gemini. So when we talk about Gemini energies, how we communicate. It's the conversations we have and the conversations we're not saying. Our body language. It's the intellectual. It's how we think. And how we think is changing too. It's literally rewiring our brain cells so we can think in a different way. So when we think about Gemini energy, it really is about the higher consciousness. The Gemini, out of all the air signs, is the most intellectual zodiac sign from the air signs. Libra and Aquarius is more of the researcher, but Gemini is intellect. Gemini is wisdom. Gemini is, let's have a conversation, a deep conversation, and see where it goes. Whereas Libra and Aquarius are researchers. They're the ones that are looking beyond what's in front of them at this moment of time. So when we think Uranus and Gemini, this is really about how the way you communicate, how the way you share your stories, the way how you write your books, it's the way how you speak on stage is all going to change. Even your conversations about certain subject matters are going to change because everything is being revolutionized. Now, Uranus rules Aquarian energy. So it really is about the bigger vision that Uranus and Gemini are going to bring to the table, that we're going to really start talking about the bigger visions. Not the things that we were doing 3 years ago. The things that are actually going to be beyond our time. So, for example, and I actually heard this a couple of days ago, whereas if you are interviewing for specific jobs and you are bringing to the job something that's going on in the current, you may not be hired because particular jobs don't want things that's going on right now. They want things that's going to happen in years to come. And that's just Uranus, Gemini energy. Uranus will backspin to Taurus again on November 6th or 7th, giving us a chance to review those relationships on the 7th. Uranus is currently in retrograde, and that's the only time a planet can backspin is when they're in retrograde. So this is a deep retrospection at this point in time, helping us to look and review and reflect on how we do communicate and the relationships that we're in. Is the relationship, especially when Uranus backspins into Taurus, is the relationship you're in valuable? Is the relationship you're in valuing you? It just goes back again to our Venus Libra energy. Is this relationship helping you to grow? Is this relationship expansive? Is this relationship going to take you to where you have to go? Is this relationship a good partnership? And that's professionally and personally. It's also friendships. So you may notice, especially once Uranus moves back into Taurus, that some of your relationships, business and friendships, may fade away because they're not aligned to who you are and who you're here to become. Because Uranus is all about that person that's going to really be innovative. That person that's going to literally step into the higher consciousness and seeing things beyond what's in front of them. And if you are in a relationship with that another person and that person is not sparking that for you, you're going to find yourself fading away from them. And that's what the Venus Gemini energy is all about. It's the people you're connecting with, communicating with, collaborating with. Are they your people that help you expand? And it's really time to start taking the glasses off. Clean them. Put them back on so you can see things in a different way. Because if you're hanging out with people that's not going to expand you, why? 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 Again, this is one of the other reasons why I think astrology is so important. Because when you understand someone's when you understand someone's big three, meaning sun, moon, and ascending or rising as known, you can determine from their three big whether or not you're going to be what's the word I'm looking for? Comparable. There you go. Yes, through the three big. So if, like for example, I'll give you a client, one of my clients and I's, Dewey Big. I have a client I work with. She is, let me see if I can get it right. She is Libra Sun, Rising Gemini, and Virgo Moon. So she's a double air and Earth sign. I am pay attention here, I am a Sun Pisces, Rising Cancer, Moon Aquarius. So I'm a double water and air. She and I work very nicely together. My Sun Pisces and her Moon Virgo are in oppositions, but they're sisters, so they work nice together. And she has Gemini and Libra, and I have Aquarius, so we finish off that grand trine together. So we work nicely together. Now, if you are, if I have somebody that the energies don't work well together, I like to know that ahead of time, because then I like to know what the lesson is that we're supposed to do and get that lesson done so we can move on. Because if that person is not going to elevate me and I can't elevate them, what's the point? Now, I work with many clients, especially with astrology, that's not into astrology, and it makes it very difficult for me to get to know who they are because I don't have their chart. I can go based on their sun energy, but that's not really enough. But once I get to know a person, I get to better understand who they are. And if I find after connecting with this person over, let's say, 6 or 12 weeks, and we're still not like collaborating on a deeper level, then that tells me right off the bat that that person's not my person. So I will fade away. I will slowly start to fade away. So this is why astrology is so important. And again, coming back to conversation on hand, Uranus and Gemini is really about the unpredictable. It's about the chaos. It's about the chaos that's going to come through with how we communicate, how we network, how we brainstorm, the technology, the connections. And if you are not aligned with the people you're working with and the conversations don't flow with ease, you may see that unpredictable energy just wean away. More specifically, once Uranus moves back into Taurus. So any relationship you have that's not valuable, pay attention to how it fades away. So in the meantime, with Uranus and Gemini, this is a perfect opportunity for those unexpected conversations to occur. Things that maybe you either avoided or you just didn't make time for. Uranus and Gemini may give you this opportunity, especially during this grand trine, to have that conversation. Maybe you'll get the information you've been looking for but haven't received it yet. This is where it's going to come in. So be open to the idea that something is coming through. Something is going to come in. Something that you've been waiting for is going to come in. This is your time for that to happen. And again, where do you have Gemini on your chart? Because that's where Uranus is transiting. So I have Gemini sitting in my 11th and 12th house. 11th house is all about my community. 11th house is all about how I connect and collaborate with my community. It's so important that I have a community that I can collaborate with. If I'm in a group such in Facebook and there's no collaboration going on, I'm not staying in that group. I'm going. I don't have time to waste. I really don't have time to waste. So if you bring me into your group and I'm not able to collaborate, or there's not people that's driving with me, I'm out. I'm gone. Out the door. No time to waste. And you need to start to do the same thing. You need to value your time and energy with more assertiveness. Because again, if you're just hanging out in a group, just to say you're in a group and you're not getting anything from that group, why exert your energy where you can go and find groups that's going to actually enhance you, empower you, and help you grow? Because that's really what this is all about. And excuse me as I say this, it may sound insensitive. I'm not looking for friends. I am not looking for friends. I am, as I said, I am a Pisces, Cancer, Aquarian. Those are my top 3. And I like my quiet time. I like my intuition time, and I like to sit and connect with people that I can talk about visions to. So if you are not that person, there's no sense. What's the point, right? So pay attention. Pay attention to your real vibe, because you don't want to sit. You don't want to be in groups that's not going to elevate you. Not going to elevate you. And when I use the word sitting in groups not to elevate you, yes, I am talking about if you have a service to offer and there's no one in that group biting your service, you're in the wrong group. It's the bottom line. You are in the wrong group. You should be able to promote your service, and there should be people in that group that's literally jumping out of the chair to want to take advantage of your service. If you're sitting in that group 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and there's not one person that grabs on your service or reaches out to you to say, hey, I want to collaborate with you, get the hell out of that group, because they're not your people. They're not your people. Even if it means you're going to be sitting all by yourself. I'd rather sit all by myself and value my time and energy than to sit in a group that doesn't value me. So, and this is where you're really going to get to see that experience in this grand trine of who your people are. Because all of these 3 planets, Venus, Uranus, and Pluto, are really emphasizing your worth, your value, how you communicate and what it is you're here to share. And you want to be in groups that you can share. You want to be in groups that you can, at the end of your share, energetically, there's going to be people raising their hand and say, how can I work with you? How can I work with you? Otherwise, if not, it's a waste of your energy and time, and you don't have time and energy to waste. All right, we're going to move on because I'm looking at the time, and I've already been here 50 minutes. So we're moving into Pluto. Now, Pluto has been in retrograde in Aquarius. Pluto has just entered Aquarius back in the beginning of 2024, I believe. I don't have the date in front of me. But anyway, Pluto has spent the last 18 years sitting in Capricorn's energy. In fact, our pandemic that we experienced back in 2020, that was the Pluto Capricorn energy. And Pluto in Capricorn did its work. It literally helped people to fade out what they no longer needed. It helped people to walk away from things that was dead to begin with. If your grass is not growing and you're doing all the watering possible and it's still not growing, it means it died. So that's that Pluto Capricorn energy. Now that Pluto is in Aquarius, it's about the bigger vision. Remember, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, so Uranus and Pluto are in a conjunction together. Now, when we talk about Pluto moving forward after its retrograde in Aquarius, right now it's still in the very end stages. Pluto will go direct as of, make sure I'm in the right month, as of 10:54 p.m. So tonight. So right now, Pluto is still in its retrograde. Okay, right now it's still in its retrograde. We're going to still feel that retrograde period, probably leading up into maybe, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday, and then we'll really start to feel that fast forward motion with Pluto in Aquarius. What is that going to look like? Well, Pluto is about your transformer. Pluto is about endings. It's about death. And when I use the word death, yes, sadly to say, loved ones, celebrities, fur babies, this is a period of time when Pluto, if you have whatever house placement you have Pluto in, you may be someone that experiences a lot of deaths, specifically 12th house. If you have Pluto in your 12th house placement, you may be surrounded by death, because 12th house is death, okay, and endings, people dying off. So now with Pluto in Aquarius, it really is about transforming your vision, killing off a vision that's not aligned with a bigger vision. So whatever your vision is, know that with Pluto in Aquarius moving forward, your vision needs to be bigger. If you see yourself dancing on stage, see yourself dancing on the stage of Radio City Music Hall. And then once you see yourself dancing on the stage of Radio City Music Hall, see yourself dancing in the largest stadium there is, whether that is Citi Field, Yankee Stadium, whatever stadium that sits the most largest amount of people possible, because you have to expand that vision. That is what Pluto in Aquarius is all about. It's activating your vision. So dying off visions that are this small, and allowing them to expand. So again, this is also about collaboration. You need people in your corner that is going to help you expand that vision. I can't say this enough. If you are hanging out with people that don't talk about their visions, they don't have a plan, they're not vision seekers, they just basically go day to day, living life and just hoping for the best, those are not your people. You got to get away from them. You want to be in circles where people are ready to talk about their bigger dreams, and that there's going to be someone in that circle that's going to say, oh, come on, you can do better than that. That's what you want to do. That's the energy you want to be around. People that's going to sit there and applaud you and say, yeah, you can do better than that. That's what you want to do. So again, you want to look at your placement to see where you have Aquarius, because that's where Pluto is transiting. I have Aquarius sitting in 2 placements. I have it in my 7th and my 8th house. So my 7th house are all about my agreements, all about the different relationships and partnerships I come to play in. It's also about my philosophies and habits and beliefs, and how I help you with those as well. In the 8th house, it's about doing the works behind the scenes, but it's also about the different partnerships that I have with people like yourself who's going to invest in what it is I'm doing. Other people's money, okay? So pay attention to where you have these 3 zodiac signs. What houses are this energy going to light up as you're trying? For me, it's about my 4th house. It's about my 7th and 8th house, and it's about my 11th and 12th house. During these trines, those 5 houses for me are going to be lit up during this trine of energy. So during this week where we have this grand trine, this is your time now to really put your foot to the gas and make some action. This is your time now to be open to the unexpected opportunities that's coming in. Maybe something you were working on a year ago didn't really pan out a year ago, but now all of a sudden someone's going to ring your doorbell or send you an email and say, hey, are you still doing X, Y, and Z? Do not say no. Do not say no. Because that just means this opportunity is coming back around and there's energy for it. So your answer is going to be yes, I am. How can I help you? And figure it out as you go along. I remember sitting in a group, and I don't even think I was sitting in a group. I think I was watching this on TV or something. And the presenter said that when you are going for a job interview and there's skill sets that you have not learned yet, do not turn around and say, oh, I'm not qualified for that position because I don't know those skills. I am qualified for this position and I'm willing to learn those skills. That's the attitude you have to come in with. You're open to learning. When you're open to learning and you're open to doing things in a different way, opportunities come your way. You may not be the best at it, but you're willing to learn. And that is a great access to opportunities. If you turn around and say, oh, I'm not qualified for that, I can't do that, you're missing an opportunity, people. You don't want to miss opportunities. Not during this grand trine. This is your time to step up your game. This is your time to, my favorite expression, go big or go home. If you're not looking to go big, go sit in the back row somewhere. You're taking up space. This is your time to stop taking up space. This is your time to literally get on that stage, get front and center so people can see you. Even though, yes, there's no Leo energy here, but Aquarius is opposition of Leo. So this is really about your bigger vision. And Pluto being Aquarius, Pluto's going to be transiting Aquarius for the next 20 years, people. So you have 20 years to get this right. And you don't have to get it right away. It's not about perfection. It's about practice. 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 The more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. Don't push it away because you don't know how to do it, because that doesn't lead to your opportunities. This is all about the unexpected opportunities. Wake up every morning with the idea of, wow, something good is coming today. Wake up with the idea of, oh wow, I'm going to open my email and that letter's going to be there. Oh wow, I'm going to receive the invitation. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, That's what this grand air trine is all about. Venus, Uranus, and Pluto playing a beautiful game together during this period of time for you. During this Libra season, we have that conjunction with the Sun. There's an opposition with Aries. Uranus in Gemini. Right now we're in safe mode until Uranus backspins into Taurus, and then there's going to be an opposition with Uranus and the Sun because of Scorpio's energy, because Scorpio and Taurus are opposition of each other. But right now with Uranus and Gemini, there's no oppositions going on right there. We have a nice conjunction with Uranus and Pluto playing. So this is a great time for unexpected opportunities to show up. Whether it's in your email, a text, a phone call, whatever. This is your time to start evaluating the rooms that you're in, the people you're connecting with, and if you are not making connections, if you are not receiving new clients at this point in time, and you're in different groups and you're not getting new clients, new partnerships, new collaborations in those groups, get out. That's not your group. Get out. That's not your group. You should be able to present whatever it is you're doing in that group to let people know what you're doing. And if the host of that group doesn't allow that, then that's not your group. You don't want to be in a group where the host is saying you cannot promote yourself. They may have specific days that you can do that, and of course honor that and jump on it on those days. But if you're in a group that the host is saying, oh, no, you're not allowed to promote your services, you're not allowed to connect with the people in the group, there's no sense in being in that group. Get out of that group. Get out of that group. All that being said, I'm going to leave you with a little something. I want to invite you, if you're seeing this today on October 13th, I have my group tonight, Women Empowering Women. We meet at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to attend it as my VIP guest, just message me and I will send you the Zoom link. We meet once a month, the second Monday of the month, and our conversations are quite intellectual. They're fun and often hands-on as well. So again, I would love to have you there. There is a membership that after you come in as my VIP guest for the first time, you are going to be encouraged to sign up as a member and join us every month. All of our members get to speak. You become a speaker in the group where I send you an invitation where you can be a speaker once within your once within the 6-month membership. And you definitely get to network with all the other women in the group. I encourage it. We have a Facebook private group as well that once you come, I invite you into that as well. So there's a lot of incentives to joining our Women Empowering Women's group where you can connect, can collaborate, and make friendships there too. So if you're interested in joining me tonight, October 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, send me a message and I'll send you the link. All that being said, do you want some more information? Let's see what card shows to align with this grand trine, and then we can move on with our day. So once again, before I pull the card, remember to take a look at your natal chart to see what houses this grand trine is activating for you. You will probably have 3 houses, or like me, 5 houses, because some of your placements take up 2 houses. And that will be where all this energy is going to be coming from. So for me, I have Libra in my 4th house. I have Aquarius in my 7th and 8th house, and then I have Uranus in my 11th and 12th house. So it's quite interesting. I definitely know the storyline to what those houses are. And if you are curious to know the storyline to the houses that this grand trine is playing for you, go ahead and message me, and I'll be more than happy to share that. Noticing my battery life is low, so the card of the day is engage. What are you engaging in during this grand trine? Hopefully you'll have great collaborations. The color turquoise is the throat conversation. So what communication are you having? What conversations are you sharing? 27 is 9. 9 is an ending. 9 is a transformation. So again, this is definitely a time that if you are not in a group that you're collaborating in, this is the time to end that group. If you are in the process of transforming, this is perfect time for that. So what are you engaged in? Alright guys, until we meet again on the other side.